This is how we ride. This is how we do.
Everybody always makes this joke. I see some guys out there saying, since streaming makes so much, in a mocking way. But it's like, if it didn't, then why are you hiding it? You don't hide or keep information from someone that isn't valuable unless that number is valuable.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's where the disconnect comes from. I don't think anyone's trying to be greedy or come off as, someone that wants to ruin what's going on. I mean, I think Brian deserves to make a lot of money, keep his business his business. I mean, he created Dirt Vision. Good on him. He did a great job. It's all part of his brand. I mean, that's badass, but it's just too many numbers start swirling, too much stuff starts going around, and then the fact that he literally won't disclose anything, I think all of a sudden you start going, well, I mean, are we getting our fair share? I mean, then you start hearing about, just there's just too many rumors. That's the thing. And when they don't put them to bed, then it just keeps, compounding and swirling, and then you get a pissed off group, and, these are your partners. These are the people you're doing business with. You need these people as much as anybody to keep your brand alive, and the fact that you're not willing to share anything with them, I think this puts a bad taste in their mouth.
Well, and Shots brought up how, when Ted Johnson was around, he felt like family, and I kind of responded to that, and I said, he's like, I ain't felt that way in a while, like I'm family, and I'm like, hell, your family won't even tell you streaming numbers, or your car owner streaming numbers. I mean, that's a disconnect.
And obviously I'm going to probably, take a hit here with the relationship side of things, just because, I think Brian's going to take it personal, like his 3-4-time champion here, goes and goes against him. I just, my thing to that is, these things were happening, whether I was a part of them or not, and I had to make a business decision, that was going to, for my family and looking at the future. And honestly, I am very passionate about trying to raise the bar, I'm a driver, so I know what it's like. I'm involved in our team. So I run the numbers with Casey. I know how hard this business is to make go around. I know what it's like to go out there and try to compete 90 times a year and have a bad year and only make a little bit of money, or have a good year and make more money. It's, it's a tough lifestyle. So if I can, bring my ideas, and ambitions, and create a little competition and be a part of this whole conversation. My one goal is just to just try to help elevate the sport. That's it.
Do you feel like, do you regret at all not making this under the Dirt Vision banner? Because I feel like that's the battle more so than High Limit versus World of Outlaws. It's FLO versus Dirt Vision. I think that, because we saw last year if there was a rain out or something happened here or there with the Outlaws, you could see gravel at Huset's or Sheldon at Williams Grove or Knoxville, a Dirt Vision track. I thought y'all adding Huset's on the schedule was a pretty big deal. Obviously, they got the Lucas Oil Late Miles going there with the Silver Dollar Nationals. That's a FLO series as well. Todd's known for being, out-of-box kind of thinker guy as well and doing really great things, so it's a great alliance you got there. But do you feel like if you would have just went the Dirt Vision route, if you were proposed to be under Dirt Vision, that you would have any of these issues? Because I just don't think you would. I think this is really FLO versus Dirt Vision, because it's not only the exclusivity to view you in the stands, but it's also the exclusivity to view you via streaming. If you want to watch Outlaws this last year at all, any of their drivers, you had to have Dirt Vision or go to the track. With this new way of doing things, they're going to lose that exclusivity not only at the track, but online as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously I think that's a, no brainer. Obviously, if it was Dirt Vision, it'd fall under there. But if it was Dirt Vision, then he would have done it himself, and he would have done it a long time ago. I mean, he's in control of the brand and the pay-per-view. So if he wanted to do a midweek series that addressed the pay-per-view audience, he would have. But he was never going to do it until this came out, because he didn't want to open a can of worms. That would entail acting like the pay-per-view is doing really well, and that would start incorporating pay-per-view more into the business model. And I don't think they're ready to get away from where they're at right now. It's been working for them for a long time, and I think we're new and kind of have a different opinion on some of the ideas of how we're going to do things moving forward. And I mean, it's just business. We'll see who's right and wrong, and I'm sure we'll go through some learning curves. I'm sure they're going to make some decisions. I mean, at the end of the day, I think 12 races was a pretty fair, first season for us. I felt like we didn't try to step on, we could have done 20, we could have done 25, we could have done, we could have been a lot bigger thinkers, put a lot more pressure on the situation. But I think what we did was fair, and I think it still fits in the ecosystem. And, I think the racers get to race, for some bigger money on a Tuesday and Wednesday night. And that's really what it's all about, is just trying to add to it a little bit. I hate that it's FLO versus Dirt Vision, but I mean, FLO is where the opportunity was for us.
Well, it's funny you say all this is coming up right now, because I did get a message actually earlier today from a high school wrestler guy. He's a little older, he used to be in there, and he was talking about how the wrestling scene is like anti-FLO right now. Of course, that's where FLO started, because they basically monopolize the streaming services in the wrestling game. If you kind of look at this, Dirt Vision is the mom and pop store. Everybody's the mom and pop store compared to FLO. FLO would definitely be considered Walmart if there was one in the dirt streaming game. Does that worry you at all, that FLO may be using you and your opportunity to take over the dirt racing or the sprint car scene? Obviously, they're busting it up for sure, not only just with you, but also Eldora.
Yeah, I mean, I just think from our standpoint, we're just trying to look at the big picture of trying to make a good decision. There's always concerns in everything that, every business decision you make. So you try to be as strategic as possible and think, 3 and 5 years out. It's just really hard to know what 3 and 5 years out looks like. Is there more growth potential for the sport with FLO in their platform, or is there, the other way? You're never going to know. I just think FLO is a good partner. They've been a great partner for us. They have a great, platform. They're willing to step up and help elevate the sport. Obviously, it's going to be beneficial because they're going to showcase it, but you wouldn't want to do it with some, janky brand or something that you didn't trust. And, so far, they haven't shown us anything that we've been, afraid of.
This is how we ride, this is how we do. Ride mud, sliding up.